Prolonged school closures and poor educational outcomes have seen Ugandan communities take learning into their own hands. When the COVID-19 pandemic forced schools to shut their doors, children in lower grades were offered classes in their communities to help them to continue learning. Known as Community-Led Learning, CLL, the initiative brought together small groups of learners who met regularly for literacy and numeracy classes, facilitated by volunteers from the community. Community-led learning was initiated by the Strengthening Education Systems for Improved Learning SESIL program, led by the Ministry of Education and Sports and managed by Cambridge Education. It is funded by the UK government.
We embraced the program because it was specifically for literacy and numeracy. SESIL identified that as key so that a child would have a good foundation, such that by the time the normal schools run, it was just complementing what they're supposed to learn at school.
What we have there kumanya vitu vyose vechi kumanya asa gene soma jake somoro nakola ngo amisagamo asa nezengo na manyara asa saina many.
However, community-led learning is not merely a temporary fix. It has continued to narrow learning gaps even as children return to school. SESIL's findings demonstrate that the children who attend community-led learning classes are twice as likely to improve their literacy and numeracy levels compared to those who rely solely on regular schooling.
When you have teachers within the classroom setting teaching this huge population of children, others are probably lagging behind. They needed more catch-up learning. This cannot be done by the same teacher because the teacher is going to be exhausted. So that is the beauty with community-led learning. You are having another teacher to do remedial teaching different from the classroom teacher. This teacher is like a coach for those learners that needs additional teaching. And this takes place outside. It takes place in the community. We want this to spread across the country. We want our communities to take up this role of parenting in terms of the education of their children that has been demonstrated in this community-led learning project. So if every parent is able to wake up and own the education of their children, what a wonderful education sector will be.
By June 2023, community-led learning had reached over 330,000 children. Despite the upcoming conclusion of the SESIL program in September 2023, the profound impacts of CLL on children, communities, and local governments, and the very low costs involved, have fueled a strong determination to ensure its continuation.
That this program is going to end soon, and how are we going to sustain it? And we have come out with the strategies of sustaining it.
In Buko district, communities have come together providing study spaces and making financial and in-kind contributions to support the initiative.
I have 2 kids, they are in program. I'm seeing a lot of improvement in their learning.
We told these people that this program, first of all, you have to own it. It is not, don't say it is ours in the office. It is your program because it is helping your children.
They are contributing 2,000 monthly for each children. The money which the parents contribute goes to the salary of the CLFs.
People are contributing, they are giving money, they are giving even food. Even you have seen the vegetables, very green vegetables.
That is just such a small thing. It makes somebody to work like a bee.
Their parents are giving me some allowances. They are motivating me with many things.
Meanwhile, local governments have taken the lead in creating affordable systems to sustain CLL activities.
We serve as a department allocated a certain part of the local revenue, nearly 2 million shillings, to support the CLL initiative.
As the district supports the supervision, the monitoring, the parents support the instructors.
In Kapchora district, Scovia, alongside other volunteer community learning facilitators, has taken it upon herself to create positive change. What started as one remedial learning center has now expanded with 6 additional teachers and 120 learners across 6 learning centers benefiting from their effort.
When the program got finished, still parents were crying. As long as you're a teacher, you can start up a project of a school shall support you. With the help of the parents had to start. They told me we're able to raise 3 kilograms of beans, 1 kilo of sugar, 10 kilograms of maize to support these children.
Parents support her by even payments and so on. And she has employed also other teachers that are doing the same job.
You know, that initiative had never been thought of before, because previously people had private schools. But this one now, whereby parents have to come together, identify the needs of the learners, keep them around for 2 hours in a day, give them some basics, was very good. So different communities will do it.
Most of the facilitators are volunteers from the communities in which they teach, who now feel valued in their communities and encouraged in their roles.
My life has changed because I feel more respected in the community. They are no longer calling me in my name, they are calling me a teacher, much as I did not. But right now I'm a community-led facilitator, teaching children. I feel great. As we perform our duties well, we shall impress our parents, because when you do a good job, it deserves something good. So as a parent gets impressed, he will say, let my teacher even take a tea, let him take some sugar, and that is something to do.
Bududa District has launched a fundraising drive to ensure the longevity of the community-led learning activities.
We have been thinking of mobilizing stakeholders to contribute towards it through fundraising drive. That's the in-kind contribution, financial contribution, and also giving moral support, and one whose presence and one whose participation. All those are actually materials to help us to push on with the program.
And the fundraising drive has gone on well. People have contributed in kind to support the intervention, providing stationery, facilitating the CLFs. This is all about a strategy in order to sustain this intervention.
Moreover, local leaders in Bududa have fully integrated CLL into the district's educational activities.
CLL has become part and parcel of our education activities. That's why we are being assessed in that area. It means it's part of what is supposed to be done under the education department. And this is what we mean by integration.
Toro municipality local leaders recognize the significance of community-led learning in neighboring districts and created their own model. CLL was incorporated into the school program, showcasing the adaptability and effectiveness of this approach.
We have institutionalized. That is the difference. For us, we found it necessary to put it within our institutions of learning. And we targeted only those who had difficulties in numeracy and literacy, were the ones eligible. And as I speak now, there is some great improvement.
We decided to teach them at least from Monday to Friday. If it is school days, we give them as a remedial exercise. And we give them 2 hours every day. The learners, they really improved.
Volunteers, the community-led learning facilitators, will be given something small. They are going to give them actually 60,000 extra to what they are getting on top of their salaries. Yeah. And the parents in a meeting, they have agreed to contribute at least 3,000 to support the CLFs. We are trying to find a way of incorporating it in our education curriculum. During the lockdown, the ministry introduced what they call abridged curriculum, whereby you bring all other ideas in order to ensure that these learners are. So in that process, I was able to get a space of adding in this community-led learning.
As a community-centered, locally owned development initiative, CLL lies at the heart of Uganda's sustainable development agenda. This grassroots method holds great promise as a low-cost, high-impact solution to enhance the literacy and numeracy levels of children across the country and around the world.
The most critical thing is the local government. If they can prioritize the community-led learning and factor it in the annual budget, that would be the best.
Kusome bulaya nga ngeza kuile somo netleo and kusoma lunke ngana na gamsamara.
We are really seeing good results from the program because the children are able to read, they are able to count.
The demand is there. As long as we continue delivering as required, more we will yearn for it, and we shall continue extending it slowly until it takes root.
I would like to encourage my friends from other local government to embrace this system.
The program is so good, very simple, and it needs just some little resources to support it.
You know, when something starts, some people are skeptical. But when they see that there's something good in it, you will see others also coming to bring the children. There must be somebody who begins. Like they say, 1,000 miles begins with one step. So when we start like that, others will join in, and it is going to be something that will be history.